So today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a gorgeous little sunflower. You don't have to add the leaf if you don't want to, and you can also add in a stem if that's how you'd like it. You can pop a pin in the back and use it as a brooch or any decorative for maybe a handbag, something like that. So I like saffron yarn, it's very soft, easy to use. 2.5mm hook, and I'm going to need a tiniest amount of stuffing just to go in the middle, and the needle is just to sew in my end. There's no sewing on of anything on this one, it's all joined together. Now as you can see, we've got the brown for the front and I've done green for the back, so I'm going to be showing you the brown one first. So just get my yarn. We're going to do a magic circle, so you put it round your finger in like a cross under the first one and pull back the second. Pull your tail through like so, and that is your magic circle. Now inside this magic circle we need to do 6 single crochets, so you're going to pull up the yarn and we're going to pull it through. So that's your first single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 6. And then this is where you add your stitch marker, so you know which is the last stitch in your round. Pop that in there. Now I'm going to go straight into round 2, and we're going to do a whole round of increases. So we've got 6 here at the moment, we're just going to pull that tight. We're going to make it up to 12, so for every stitch you're going to put 2 single crochets in. So this is our first one, and back in the same stitch we're going to be doing the second one, and then we move on to this next stitch here. We're going to pop 2 in there. That's 3 and number 4, and then in this next stitch we're going to do 5 and 6. And the next one is 7 and 8. The next one is 9 and 10. And then we take the stitch marker out to pop our last stitch in, which is 11 and 12. There we go. So that's round 2 finished. Into round 3 we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then in the following stitch we're going to do an increase, so 2 in this one, and we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around, so that you're going to end up with 18 single crochets in your round. So there we've done our increase, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 in the next, one in the next stitch, and 2 in the next. Just keep repeating that pattern all the way around. 1 stitch, and then in the following one an increase, so it's 2. And we're on the last 2 stitches, so that's 1 in there and 2 under your stitch marker. And remember to pop that back in. Going straight into round 4, we're going to do 2 single crochets, so 1 in the first stitch, 1 in the second stitch, and then you're going to do your increase in your third stitch. So 2 in this one here. So we've got 1 single crochet one in the next one, so that's your 2 individual single crochets, and then in the third one you're going to do your increase, so it's 2 in this one. So we're going up another 6 stitches, so at the end of this round you are going to end up with 24. So if you want to carry on the pattern, I'm going to meet you back after your stitch marker. So 2 single crochets and then an increase in your third stitch. Now going into round 5, we're just going to do our last set of increases. So we're going to do 3 single crochets in a row. We've got 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. So 2 in this stitch here. So we're going up another 6 stitches in this round, so it's going to take you up to 30. So 3 individual single crochets and then an increase in the 4th stitch. So I'll let you carry on and I'll meet you back under your stitch marker. Now the last round is just a single crochet round, so this is round 6, and we're going to be putting 1 single crochet into every stitch. So you've got 30 stitches in your round at the moment. So just 1 in every stitch, and then at the end we're just going to finish it off. So you don't want to watch me doing all this. I will be back once I get to my stitch marker. Okay, I'm just going to take my stitch marker out. This is my last single crochet in this round. And I'm going to slip stitch into this next stitch just to finish it off. And cut my yarn. Get rid of that one. I just want to tighten the inner hole. Get rid of that. So if you look at which direction your yarn is traveling, wrap it around your hook and gentle tug. You can just feel it give way, and there we have it. You don't pull too tight because you do not want to snap it. And then with the tail end, I'm just going to feed it back through into the middle. So we're going this way. I'm just going to pop it through there, and then I'm going to weave it through the back here. You're not going to see this back side because it's going to be inside with the stuffing. Just going to secure it with the middle section. When I get to this bit, I tie these 2 together. That way, no chance of it coming undone. And there is our brown section. Now we need to go on and make the green one. Just the same way as we've done the brown, we're going to make a duplicate one for the green. So again, magic circle with 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and last one's number 6. Pop my stitch marker in. Pull it closed. And then you're going to go straight into round 2 with an increase into every stitch. So for each one, we're popping 2 single crochets in. 1 and 2. So I'm not going to make you watch me do all this. I'm going to keep pausing it for you, and then you can meet me at the end of the stitch marker. Okay, there's our 12 on our round. So now we're going to do round 3. So we're going to do 1 single crochet followed by an increase in the next stitch. So 2 in this one. And again, you've already done this once, you don't need me to show you. So 1 single crochet and then an increase. So round 4, we've got 2 single crochets followed by your increase. So it's 1, 2, and an increase. And right on cue, Molly has just come in. So if you want to carry on, I'm going to meet you at the end of this round. Row 5, 3 single crochets and then your increase. 1, 2, 3, and then our increase. So 2 in this next one. And again, I'm going to meet you at the end by your stitch marker. Now round 6 is your last round, so it's our single crochet round all the way around. So 1 single crochet into every stitch, and you have 30 of them. So I'll let you carry on and I will meet you after your stitch marker. Okay, just at my last stitch, that's the 30th one. I'm going to slip stitch into the following one, cut my yarn and just sew that end in. But first I'm going to close this hole a little bit more. So again, look at which way round your yarn is travelling. So it's travelling that way, so I'm going to pull it that way. And I just felt it go and it's closed. And I'm just going to pop it down the next stitch. And weave it through the back. And just tie those 2 ends together. So that is our second one. Now we're going to be working on our petals now, so we need to put back to back on these. Doesn't really matter where you go or where you start. And you are going to go through both loops on both sides, like so. We're just going to draw up our yarn. And I'm just going to secure it with a single crochet there. But what I tend to do is I bring this one back inside. So I go back through that last one. Just going to hook that piece of yarn because I want it hidden in the middle. Come through. There we go. Now we're going to chain 2. 1, whoops, came straight off there, didn't it? And 2. And I'm going to go into this next stitch. Again, you always need to go through both loops, and if you keep twisting your work you can see which stitch you're going in. And it needs to be a double crochet in that one. So yarn over, through both, pull up. That's our double crochet, and we're going to do a treble crochet, so yarn over twice, go back through the same hole, pull up, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and it's a bit loose, pull through 2. So we have got our chain 2 in the stitch before. We go straight into the next one. We have a double crochet, a treble crochet. Now we're going to do a picot. Now it is just literally chain 2, then you go back into your first chain and we're going to slip stitch. So keep the yarn quite tight because you don't want them too baggy. So I'm going to pull the yarn back through that one, and I need to hold the bottom of that stitch to pull that one back through that one. That top section here is your picot. We're going to do things in reverse now. So we've got a treble crochet, yarn over, pull through. So you're going to go through 2 each time for your treble crochets. Just lost that one, and the last one. And then we're going to go into a double crochet, all in the same stitch. This is your first petal. And then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to slip stitch into this next stitch. So make sure you've gone through both. Pull the yarn, and we're slip stitching, so we're going to pull that one straight back through without yarning over. So there is our first petal, and we're going to carry on. So like we did before, we're going to chain 2, we're going to double crochet in the next stitch. Make sure you are in the whole of the stitch. Then we're going to do a treble crochet in the same stitch. So yarn over, pull through 2 each time, and then we're back to our picolt stitch. So chain 2. I tend to find it's easier to put your fingers here so you know where you're working from. So you've got 1, 2, and you're going to go back through that first stitch and do a slip stitch, and then grab the bottom of that one to make it easy to pull through. There we have it. Doing it in reverse now, so we're going to do a treble crochet back in the same stitch, and then we're going in with a double crochet. I'm going to finish the stitch with a chain 2, and we're going to slip stitch it into the following stitch, so that one there. Okay, chain 2 for your next stitch, double crochet into your next one, and we're literally just doing this for the whole way round. Treble in the same stitch, now we're on the picolt, so chain 2, go into the first stitch and do a slip stitch. Now treble, double, chain 2, and slip stitch into the next one. There. So this is how we're looking so far. I'll let you carry on, and I'm going to stop probably about here for you so we can add the stuffing, and I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so I've got a little hole left before I finish the petals off, so I'm just going to add, you don't need a huge amount of stuffing, it's just to make the front pop out a little bit. We just pop that in before we finish up. I think I'm quite happy with that amount, I don't want it too big. And then we're just going to carry on. So I've already done my chain 2. I'm going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. Make sure you've got the right one at the back, like so. Then our treble. Chain 2 for your picolt and slip stitch the first one. And grab that stitch and pop it through. Do it in reverse, treble crochet. Then a double. Put that green one there. We're going to chain 2, slip stitch into the next one. Make sure I get both sections of that one. Chain 2 to start the next one up. and double crochet in the next one. Oops. Into a treble, chain 2 for your pickle, go back in the first one to do your slip stitch, treble crochet, bear with me. Now for the double crochet, back in the same stitch, chain 2, slip stitch into the next one, come on through, there we go, chain 2, running out of space a bit now. We're just going to do our last one, so we're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch. Just watch that next petal, treble crochet, and chain 2 for your pickle, back in the first one, slip stitch, come through, there we go, treble, back in the same stitch, double, chain 2, and then we're going to slip stitch back into this one here to join it all back together. Cut my yarn, and there we have our sunflower. Green on the back, brown on the front. Just weave this end in. The best thing about this is there's no sewing on. So I'm just going to be weaving this thread through these back loops here. And then I'm going to come back this way a bit. And I'm just going to hide it in the middle here. And cut that end off. So there's our pretty little sunflower. Like I say, you can leave it as it is. You can pop a pin on the back, a brooch, make it a brooch, add it to a handbag as an accessory. So I'm going to go on and show you how to make the leaf in case you want to add that to yours. Now for the leaf, obviously we're going to be back in green. We're going to leave a little bit of a tail end because we need that section to be able to sew it to the back of your sunflower. We're just going to make a slip knot. And then we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to work our way back down. So we're going to go in a second chain from our hook, which is this one here, and we're just going to do a slip stitch. So put it through there and wiggle it through that one. There we go. And then the following stitch we're going to be doing a single crochet, and then we're going to do 5 double crochets working up. So yarn over and go in your next one. So that is 1, Go in the next stitch is 2, and the next one is 3, the next one is 4, so I get all my strands, and the next one is 5, and then we're going to increase in the next one. So we're going to put 2 double crochets into this next stitch here. So that's 1 and 2, and in the last stitch we're going to make 4 double crochets. So we're going to go into this end section here, and that helps us go back up the other side. So we have got 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we're going to put everything in reverse, so your next stitch on the other side needs to be a double crochet increase. We're going to leave this yarn where it is. I'm not going to work my way back up with it because I need it that end to sew with. So we're going to go onto this one here, because you can see you've got your 4 at the end, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's these 2 here we want to go back into the other side. So we're going to do 2 double crochets into the opposite side of that one. That's 1 and 2, and now we need 5 double crochets going back up the other side. That's 1, which is working in the back parts of these stitches that you've already worked in. 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then a single crochet in this top one here, and then we're going to slip stitch back up into this top section here. Cut the yarn, grab my needle. So I'm just going to feed this bit back through and weave it in down the back, because we don't want that one. Like so. Let's cut that end off. And there we have our leaf. So we're going to thread our needle with the tail end that we started with, and you're just going to work out where you want to pop it on your sunflower. So just maybe in between some petals. Go around the back. I'm going to squeeze it back through that one, and I'm going to pick up some stitches here. And this is the only piece of sewing that you've got with your sunflower, is to sew the petal on if that's what you wanted. And pop it through here. And just weave it back through the back. I'm going to hide my yarn through here. And trim off my end. So this is your finished sunflower. So if you like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I will find another one to do.